these events have caused one of the most controversial debates in American history: gun control. These highly publicized, violent events have caused many of us to question, where do guns fit into our society? Places such as movie theaters, schools, and college campuses that have never been a place of danger and should never have been a place of danger are now seen as potentially dangerous. The issue stems from the fact that we want to protect ourselves and our families. Obviously, we all agree we should protect ourselves. However, disagreement arises when we decide how to approach gun control.
So we decided to ask people around the Penn State campus what they know and how they feel about gun control.
The right to bear arms.
Right to bear arms.
Right to bear arms.
The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, and I guess my interpretation of it is that you have the right to defend yourself, I guess, with a firearm.
The right to own guns dates back to the founding of our country. According to the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
When we think of the Second Amendment, we typically think of the right to bear arms. However, this isn't the entire amendment. Both sides of the gun control debate have used this amendment, but they focus on different aspects of it. For example, those that support gun rights focus on that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, whereas those who support gun control say that the right to bear arms is only intended to create a well-regulated militia. However, this has fallen out of place in today's society. Part of the gun control debate stems from the fact that both of these sides are interpreting the Second Amendment differently.
But more importantly, should the amendment even be up for interpretation? Should we treat it as a living document, or after more than 200 years, has it lost its relevance?
No, I don't. No.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. No, I don't.
Never heard of it.
In 1994, the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act was put into effect. The act requires gun buyers to submit to background checks. A loophole exists, however, because the act only applies to purchases made through federally licensed gun dealers. Up to 30 to 40% of gun sales occur through a private seller, however. This means that obtaining a gun can be very easy for anyone, including convicts and the mentally ill. The Brady Act has stopped the purchase of nearly 2 million potential firearm purchases. However, according to the director of the University of Chicago Crime Lab, there has not been a reduction to the homicide rate that can be directly attributed to the Brady Act.
I feel like the loophole makes me not feel safe because then a lot of people are buying guns without any kind of background check whatsoever.
Anyone could get a gun, and you wouldn't have background checks.
People who want guns can get guns regardless of where they, if they have to do a background check or not.
I'm kind of like on the edge about it.
Well, the fact that there is regulation that makes people get background checks is a good step. But if 30 to 40% of people don't need a background check, then it seems like a huge loophole that should be tightened. But I'm not too familiar with it, so I could be overlooking some things.
But the question remains, can the Brady Act be seen as a failure? And if so, is the issue with the overall effectiveness of gun control, or rather just the loopholes in the Brady Act?
I would consider myself pro-gun control. I think it's important that the government regulates who's allowed guns because they can be dangerous and very harmful.
Well, being part of the ROTC program here at Penn State, I don't really think gun control really works because weed is illegal and a lot of people get their hands on it, and I feel like that's how it is for guns.
We're never going to solve the issue of gun control, so it'll just be a constant debate.
In January of 2013, President Obama proposed new gun control legislation, including expanded background checks for gun sales and even a ban on assault weapons. Currently, 83% of Americans are in favor of background checks for private and gun show sales. Ladd Everett, Director of Communications for the Washington-based advocacy group Coalition to Stop Gun Violence, says that universal background checks are a staple of any civilized country's gun laws, and one that we've never had on the books and should have been done decades ago in this country. In May of the same year, the National Rifle Association surpassed a record of 5 million members, and the leaders of the NRA vowed to continue to fight federal gun control measures.
I feel that disarming the general population, the only guns you're going to get are the law-abiding citizens. You'll never take them from the gangs and the criminals and the people that want to hurt people.
It's important that people have guns, and I think it's important that people know how to use them.
The larger controversy, however, remains as to whether or not assault weapons such as semi-automatics should be legal.
Supporters of the ban on assault weapons feel that these weapons are strictly made for mass killing and destruction rather than for protection. Senator Dianne Feinstein says, "How many assault weapons do you need circulating? To have these mass killings is such a blight on everything that America stands for." However, those who oppose the ban of assault weapons believe that the ban serves no purpose but to take away the rights of the American people. Alan Gottlieb, Executive Vice President of the Second Amendment Foundation, states that a shotgun can do just as much damage as a so-called assault weapon.
The debate over gun control will not be resolved in the foreseeable future because there is no definitive right or wrong answer. There are facts, statistics, and studies that support both sides, so it makes it difficult to come to a concise decision. However, it is important that we understand the complexity of this issue and acknowledge all the components of it, so that we can guarantee our safety, however that may be.